Hi there. So my name is Tessa Caleb, and I am a Student Success Advisor here at the College of Western Idaho. I've been here for almost 6 years, and the programs that I currently advise for are English, Spanish, Sign Language, Studio Art, and some of our liberal arts majors as well. So the last time an advisor came into your classroom, it looked like a very different format, but due to the environment that we are currently in, I thought recording a video with some information as far as that's relevant to students and how advisors can help could be helpful. So we're going to try this video format and see how things go. So I thought I would spend our time today navigating your myCWI account. So classes tend to use Blackboard a lot. And of course, you communicate through your CWI student email account. But myCWI, where you have access to your account information, where you register for classes, that's really where the advising team spends most of our time working with students. So how we get to our myCWI account is, and this is just the main website, so cwi.edu. And I am just going to hover over the quick links tab here. And then we are going to go scroll on down to myCWI login. So once you log in, you will be directed to the kind of dashboard here. So under My Toolkit for Students that we can see here, we are going to hop on down to My Toolkit for Students. And I am using our test student, Rufus Mulrat, today. So just a mock account that we've created, not a real student. So we're going to hop on down to My Toolkit for Students. And then we are going to spend some time in Plan and Register today. Now, it's really easy for us to skip on down to Plan and Register for a second time, but anytime we're thinking about registration, we want to make sure we do two things first. So the first one is your student account consent over here, and you'll note it says it must be completed before registration. So we'll click that one. Then it's going to ask you to select a term. So usually the most current term is at the bottom, so we will move on down to the 2020 summer term. We are going to read the disclaimer that talks about registration and paying for classes. When you've read it, you'll check the little box and click Submit. It's important to know that if you do not do this step, you will not be able to register for next semester classes. And so the way that you'll know that your permission has taken place is under electronic consent history. Once you hit that Submit button, it'll pop up with the date and then consent given for the 2020 summer semester. Now, because this is our test student, we've been giving consent since February. That's when the summer registration opened. Summer registration is available for all students who meet the eligibility criteria to register. So just feel free to hop on in and register for summer classes if that was in your plan. So once you've given your consent, now we are going to make sure that we confirm our emergency contact, just to make sure that everything is up to date. If you need to edit your emergency contact, you can go ahead and make those changes. If you just want to confirm if everything looks great, then you will make sure to click the confirm button in the upper right-hand corner. So this is the emergency contact for Kim Possible and Testerson. And so making sure that information is correct and hitting that confirmation button. Okay, so emergency contact information was confirmed as of today. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this window. And now we are ready to hop back in here to Plan and Register. And I'm actually going to make myself a little bit smaller. There we go. So Plan and Register. I'm going to give it a second to load. Okay, so once we arrive at the screen, we have two main options. So we can either view our current progress. So this area is super helpful if you've got some degree requirements that you've met, or if you're not quite sure which classes you need. And then plan your degree and register for classes. This is kind of your weekly calendar view. So we are going to start off by viewing your progress. It always takes a few minutes to load. Okay, so once this loads for Rufus here, we are going to take a look and see which requirements have already been met and which ones he still needs that are outstanding. And knowing what he needs is going to help us identify what to register for future semesters. So Rufus is a liberal arts major. If he was interested in looking at a different degree, maybe he's considering changing his major to studio art, he could come over here to view a new program, and then just type in the program that he's interested in, and then check that box and view program. So the nice thing about this feature is any credits that Rufus has already completed or that he's in the process of completing will automatically apply towards this new degree. So there is the studio art degree that Rufus is interested in. So now we're just going to scroll on down. So we can see that Rufus has not started his Connecting with Ideas class. So that is going to be really important for Rufus to take care of. And then if we continue to look down to see what else he needs, we can see he needs an English 102 course. Looks like his English 101 he had already had completed, so that looks great. So now it's time to move on to English 102. So those are just some classes that we'll keep in mind, Connecting with Ideas and English 102. So if we just continue to scroll down real quick, we can see all of the areas that Rufus still needs. This indicates to me that Rufus has not met his science requirement. And Rufus doesn't have to take all of these courses. This just gives him his full range of options to meet this particular category. So anytime you have confusion about degree requirements, please don't hesitate to reach out to your advisor. We would love to chat with you about your requirements and all that entails. So we are going to come back up to student planning, and we are going to go back to that planning overview screen, that primary screen where there were the two main options. So we've kind of taken a look at our progress. We know what we need Connecting with Ideas in English 102. So now we're going to hop over here to plan your degree and register for classes. For most of you, the screen will default to the 2020 spring semester, the current semester that we're in. Rufus has a few extra programs, so we're just going to tab on into the future here. So there's that 2020 spring semester, and now here is the 2020 summer semester. So I mentioned that summer registration has been open since February, so Rufus is already registered for a communication class, which is fantastic, but we do have to make sure Rufus gets registered for a Connecting with Ideas class. So all we're going to do is use that search bar up here and type CWID 101, and then we're going to search for the course options. And when the results pull up, it's going to show us anything from the current spring semester, but spring registration's already closed, and future summer registration classes. So I really like to take advantage of some of these filters over here. So I really only want to see the 2020 summer semester courses that I can register for June. And now I'm going to take a look at the available sections for CWID 101. So you'll definitely want to pay attention to the number of seats that are available for that particular course. You can also take a look at section numbers, days and times, instructors. So Rufus wants to take Connecting with Ideas online. So he is going to go ahead and select the corresponding section here. So we're going to add that section onto his schedule. So it tells us that the course has been planned onto the schedule, which is great, but we still haven't registered for it yet. So that's kind of one key piece that students tend to mix up is once they select a course, they are still not registered for it. So we're actually going to hop back to Plan and Schedule. And then that course should show up on his weekly calendar view under the summer term. So again, just going to tab on into the future till we get to summer, and then we can see that Connecting with Ideas class. So then what Rufus will want to do is click that register button, and we can see that the course down here is yellow, but upon hitting that registration button, as long as there's no account holds, registration should go through, refreshing. And there we go. So now the class is green. So green means the student is officially registered for classes. If it's yellow or if it's red, student is not registered for classes. So just want to make sure it gives us that registered, not started notification. And then it's important to note that summer courses will begin on June 1st. All right, so 6 credits or 2 classes for summer is more than enough for Rufus. The summer semester is accelerated, so instead of completing a term in 16 weeks, you finish in 8, which is usually why we recommend students only take 1 or 2 classes just to get used to the pace of the summer semester. So what are we going to do about that English 102 course? So what we're going to do is we're going to plan for it for the future. So I'm just going to type in ENGL 102 up in the corner here and search for this particular course, just like I searched for the Connecting with Ideas class. All right, so here's English 102. This is a course that Rufus wants to take in the fall semester. So instead of viewing available sections for a specific day or time, the fall semester schedule isn't available yet. I'm hoping around the beginning of April. But if we're just going to future plan the course, all we need to do is add this course to plan. So then we'll scroll on down and decide the semester that we want to take the course. So Rufus is going to take it in the fall. So we're just going to add that class to his plan. What we often do with students is a lot of this degree planning. So if we hop back to plan and schedule, we want to make sure a student is aware of their timeline here at CWI, whether that's for degree completion or academic certificate or just taking a few classes either to advance in a career or to transfer. And so we spend a lot of time with this timeline button here. So what we start to see here is Rufus has built out his 2020 summer semester. So those are the 6 credits that he's going to take. But now we're starting to plan for future fall semester courses. So we've got that English 102, perhaps maybe taking that science class that he needs in the fall semester here, then focusing on art requirements in the spring semester. So that's really what your advisor wants to chat with you about is what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish in your time here at CWI? Are you aware when classes are going to be offered? Not every class is offered every semester. So sometimes it really requires students to be strategic about when they're planning to take certain courses. And just knowing that your plan can be flexible depending on what your needs are and if you need to be flexible. But really your advisor is here to help usher you along the way, to talk to you about success, to talk to you about what happens when there's a roadblock sometimes. And so just keep in mind that your advisor wants to help you as much as possible. But really this degree plan here in this timeline page that we're looking at is really what we want to accomplish with you. Some students take advantage of fully planning out their degree, and then they reach out to their advisor, and then we check in together and kind of make tweaks or just kind of get the green light. It's important to know that all students are required to meet with their advisor in their very first semester here at CWI. So if you have not already connected with your student success advisor, you probably have a registration notification up here in the corner. So Rufus has a math notification, but if you haven't met with your advisor yet, you'll probably get an advising notification up here in the corner, which means you need to connect with your advisor to talk about goals, maybe a degree plan. So just make sure that you do that in order to unlock registration with your advisor. So this is just kind of a quick tour of your myCWI. You can also view your advising tab up here as well if you're not sure who your advisor is. Rufus is currently assigned to Student Success Advisor Curtis King. My name might be there if I'm your advisor. I'm one of more than 20 advisors, so lots of different advisors to help you on campus, but each student is assigned to a particular advisor as long as they are pursuing a degree here at CWI. So please don't hesitate to reach out to your advisor if you have questions or concerns, but really we want to keep an eye towards registration and success and keeping an open line of communication between you and us. We are here to support you. Success is in our title. And so we just want to make sure that you are on the right track for you. Thanks.